Today, we're going to answer your pole vault questions. What drills do you suggest for pole speed? Shawn, what are your best injury prevention strategies? Shawn, how's fatherhood treating you? What do I do if my school doesn't have many poles? I'm entering my outdoor season without a real pole vault coach. Shawn, what are some of the best strength training drills for getting vertical and out of the bucket? Logan, great question. Welcome to the pole vault vlog. My name is Shawn Francis, and here today, we're going to answer your pole vault questions. Let your lips speak out the words so it doesn't come out like it. You guys like my mug? Anyone else? Big Ted Lasso fans? Alright, let's do this. What drills do you suggest for pole speed? I have a bunch of videos up already, so here is a few. And if you guys want links to the video, they're in the book and they're also up in one of these corners. It'll come down. I don't know if it does it on mobile anymore. I'll put the link in the description too. Shawn, what are your best injury prevention strategies? I have 3. The first is to learn how to listen to your body. Know when to rest and know when you can go. 2, good warm-ups, very good warm-ups, and very good cool downs with prehab. And then a bonus number 4, listen to your body again. Awesome. Do that. Shawn, how's fatherhood treating you?
Set. Whoa.
A couple months ago, she hit me in the penis with a toothbrush. That really happened. I have a stress fracture in my lower back. The doctor told me to do absolutely nothing for 6 weeks. It is my senior year and it's already half over. Do you have any tips on how to deal with this? Ooh, I'm really sorry, man. I'll share what I did with my shoulder. I couldn't do anything when I hurt my shoulder. And so what I did was I wrote down a list. I literally wrote it down on a piece of paper and went, what are all the things that I can do? So then when I'm feeling good, I'll be in an even better position than if I just sat there and did nothing for 6 weeks. You can learn the sport better. You can do specific drills with a PVC pipe as long as it doesn't hurt your back. For me, I worked on speed because my shoulder, I don't run on my hands. I wish I could. That'd be freaking awesome. I wish I worked on more mental health stuff, but I didn't know anything like that back then. Again, make that list, figure out what you can do, and then rock and roll. That's your new training plan. And just know, things will get better. Listen to doctors. Most of them are very smart. Except for that doctor who told me I would never pole vault again because of my shoulder, so I went to 2 different doctors, and the third one said, hey, I'll have you back pole vaulting in 6 months. And guess what? He did. If you don't like what the doctor's telling you, get a couple of opinions. Talia West asks me, how do you manage to come back after a break? Like regaining speed, strength, and vault technique. Most people compare themselves to their best at the end of the season when all their training was peaking and when their technique was the sharpest, and then they start again and they go, I don't feel like that. Well, of course you don't. You're at the beginning of your training and not you're at the end. So I like to reset. I like to almost think like, this is a new season. This is how my body feels day 1. And I would imagine if you kept a journal, day 1 of last season, you maybe felt the same way or even worse because you're in better shape than you were exactly a year ago when you started. So like regaining speed is just start your training again. That's why we have training programs over at team-hoot.com. And then your vault technique, you just have to start. And with this new body and new brain and new awesomeness that you have, start training and sharpening your sword again. You know, good things will happen. Trust me. Just trust it. Trust the process. People have been doing this a long time. GK Herring asks, what do I do if my school doesn't have many poles and all the poles that are even near my weight are extremely stiff? What I would suggest though is I have a club map over on team-hoot.com. Go to the club map and then type in to see if there's a club near you. Most clubs these days rent out poles. So then you can rent out poles. You can probably get 4 or 5 poles for the same cost as buying one, and they usually let you trade them out as you get better throughout the season. Yeah, you just need the right tool in your hands. You don't have to own them. Pole vault clubs are the best. Sebastian asks, I'm entering my outdoor season without a real pole vault coach. I've been mostly self-taught for the past year and a half. Do you have any advice or tips for someone in my position? That's a toughie. I mean, this is the exact reason I wrote the book. For coaches who are trying to learn the event, for athletes who are trying to learn the event and don't have the resources, and this is one of those examples. I tell you what, Sebastian, you send me a message and I will send you a pole vault toolbox book and maybe let your head pole vault coach read it and see if they can recruit a pole vault dad to help learn the event, because it's better when someone when someone's on the side watching you versus you trying to just do it on your own. I've tried to coach myself pole vaulting too after I knew a lot about pole vaulting, and it was still really, really hard. Shawn, what are some of the best strength training drills for getting vertical and out of the bucket? Logan, great question. I have two. I have a high bar series that are also in the book, in the invert section, and I also post it for free. It's everywhere. I just post it everywhere. So if you can find that, it's called Team Hoot High Bar Drills. There's 10 of them there. That's a good one. The other good one for strength is if you think about inverting, it looks a lot like an RDL or a Roman deadlift. Let me make this wider real quick. Bloop. My arms are straight and I just stand up like an RDL, right? This is inverting. If I flip this picture upside down, looks like I'm inverting, right? And that's what it feels like. And the biggest thing I see when people are trying to do that is they try and pull into an invert. Like if you were to do an RDL, if you talk about to your strength coach and you go, hey, I'm gonna try and do an RDL, and you yank on your arms, he's gonna yell at you. No, don't do that. That's terrible technique. And I hate your elbows. Elbows are nasty. They're like corners on your arms. Miss Gabriella, how do you grow your pole inventory? So what we did, we started running camps. We had to rent poles for a while so we could get people to come in. As we made money with the camps, all the money went back into buying poles. And it just kind of circled that way. So maybe some years we could buy a pole. Maybe some years we couldn't even buy a pole. So we would just save that money to go, we need another pole, we need another pole, we need another pole, we need another pole. And then down the road you have a pretty good line of poles. And if you have a pretty good line of poles, then you can start renting the poles and making more money and then having more camps. And then your business and club and program kind of evolves and grows like that too. How do you grow your pole inventory? Find ways to make money. And sometimes buying cheap poles. I know there's a bunch of sites on Facebook. I know I'm trying to stay off there as much as I can, but there are some good resources on there. Pole vault clubs buy and rent poles. So maybe you can get some older poles for cheaper and then you own them and can use them down the road. But yeah, that's kind of what we did. Riv asks, how to pole vault well with bad teammates? Oof, I'm sorry, man. I don't exactly know your situation or what a bad teammate is. They might be putting on their spikes and then going to jump on your poles. I would just chuck their spikes in a sewer at that point. Here's how I would start. I would see if you can get them all together and get everybody on the same page. Usually a really heartfelt conversation has done the most wonders, and it has worked the most if you have a tough coach as well. Just to go, hey, I know we're all shooting for the same goal. How do we get on the same page? Start there. If you have more questions and you want to give me more context, reach out to me. I'll see what I can do to help. I'm gonna shoot you straight. I answered all of the questions, and I totally forgot to film like the beginning part of the video and the end part of the video, and you guys would have never noticed if I just went like this. It's strange. If I don't wear this shirt and I go to like pole vault events, no one ever even knows I'm there. If I am wearing this though, people still don't care that I'm there. I hope that was helpful. If you guys want more pole vault help, head over to team-hoot.com. There's all sorts of stuff there. Remember, there's more than one way to pole vault, and I will see ya. I probably won't. You'll see me in the next one because that'd be weird if I could see you.